Today we'll be taking a look at all the scheduled upcoming releases for the Medicom Mafex for the Marvel line. So this will consist of both the live action and the comic characters, all that have been announced for 2020 and 2021. So the final month of the year, they are finally giving us the Miles Morales Spider-Man from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The figure has been delayed for a few months now, but I believe Medicom have really squeezed it into this year since Hasbro have just released their own Spider-Verse wave with the Stiltman Builder figure. Although it's not the direct competition, I do believe, in my opinion, the Mafex version is the superior one, albeit 3 times the price. What I like about these figures is that it uses soft materials for the outer clothing, which allows interchangeability in the looks, and the face sculpts are some of the best I've seen on any Mafex action figure. Maybe animation is easier to replicate than a live action, so I believe this Miles Morales Spider-Man will be a popular one. Also scheduled for this month is the Peter B. Parker from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So just like the Miles figure, this will come with plenty of the removable clothings for different looks, from his jacket to the bottoms to his shoes, and also there's plenty of different face sculpts which are very accurate as well. And I also really like the accessories like the mug, the pizza, and something that Mafex have done in the past for the Spider-Man figures is the unmasked mask. And the final figure for this year will be a Maximum Carnage, and this is a follow-up, having released a comic version of Spider-Man and Venom in the past. It is a pretty straightforward standard Mafex with a mixture of the head sculpts, including a unmasked version, and the attachments for the hands, which is probably the main selling point, with multiple dynamic poses for the Red Slayer. Now we go into 2021, and January will get another Spider-Man, the Iron Spider from the Avengers Endgame. Now this is not a surprise, with Mafex really focusing on all their Spider-Man characters from comics to movies, and this will be the second version of a Iron Spider, having previously released the Infinity War version. This of course will have changes to it, with the most noticeable being the Nano Gauntlet and plenty of interchangeable heads, including the Instant Kill mode. And me being a collector of the SH figure arts, this will be a direct competition for that version, and if you haven't already got that version, this one will be probably worth waiting for first. Then for February, we'll be seeing a Spider-Man upgraded suit from the Spider-Man Far From Home movie. Of course, this is a follow-up to the Homecoming release, and it does what a Spider-Man figure should do with different poses and different head sculpts, although there's no sign of the Peter Parker version like they did with the Homecoming, but you do get plenty of the webs and what looks like a handheld phone, and if you're a fan of Far From Home, this one's probably for you. In the same month, they are building on their Avengers line with the Captain America from the Infinity War line. And looking at these images, they are really trying to capture the memorable moments from the film. So they have all the accessories with the spears and the shields. And I feel that this face sculpt is a pretty accurate one, as we all know that the Infinity War Steve Rogers face has been a difficult one for some. And this one is also the first Captain America figure from Mafex, so exciting times. 2 months later, April, it's Spider-Man again, and this time it's the stealth suit from Spider-Man Far From Home, which is the follow-up to the upgraded version. And this one, of course, focuses a lot on the eyes, so there's going to be plenty of the expressions, and of course your standard webs. Again, if you're a fan of the Far From Home, or you just like the slick stealth suit, you may want to look into this one. Both Hasbro and Bandai have their own versions as well, so there's plenty of competition out there. Also in April, we'll be getting the Age of Apocalypse Magneto based off the X-Men comics, and we know that Mafex have started an X-Men line with their Wolverine and Cyclops figures, and probably the most iconic character after this will be him. What I like about this figure in particular is that we get these very different head sculpts for each one, all looking very detailed, and of course the effects as well as a mask on its own, which can be used for certain holding poses. In May, they are releasing their second Captain America, the Avengers Endgame version, which will be the final battle edition with the broken shield and the Mjolnir, and of course different head sculpts, including a Steve Rogers one. And looking at the accessories, we'll also get a normal shield, the Mjolnir effect, and also one great addition is the spinning Mjolnir effect. And this image here also shows a unmasked helmet being held onto, which is very unique for a 1/12 scale Captain America. So I believe that all the best cap poses can be done with this action figure. And scheduled for the same month, we'll get our second X-Men character of the year and our second Mafex Wolverine figure. This one will be the brown and yellow suit version, which of course is another fan favourite from the comics, although personally I prefer the yellow and blue suit, having watched the 90s animated series. But again, you get all the standard Wolverine poses, and something extra this time is the Logan unmasked aggressive head sculpt, which you may be able to switch around with the previous version. So this one's a May release. For June, they are building more on their X-Men line with Gambit. So Gambit was one of my favorite characters from the 90s animated series because of his card skills. So it's important they do get the accessories and effects right. And it seems as though there's going to be plenty of the effects, including the cards, although there's no sign of the actual prints on the card. But what I do like about this figure in particular are the head sculpts. I think they're done really well. And it does look like they'll be using a soft material for the jacket, so it is removable. So it's great that Mafex, as well as other companies like Hasbro, are giving more exposure for Gambit, despite the lack of time given to him in the live-action movies. In June, we'll also get our third and fourth main characters from the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's Spider-Gwen, and I say fourth because it also includes a Spider-Ham as an accessory. So this would really complete the main characters of the Spider-Verse, having already seen Miles Morales and Peter B. Parker. And the same things can be said about this figure, an amazing face sculpt, and the Spider-Ham has plenty of accessories as well. So it's kind of like the accessory within an accessory. So this is going to be a great set. In August, finally we'll see another Iron Man, which is going to be the Avengers Endgame, known as the I Am Iron Man edition. So in the past, Mafex have released the Mark 43 and Mark 45, which was from the Age of Ultron movie. So this one is going to be quite a jump and upgrade. So this one will include plenty of repulsor effects, the launchers, the shield. So you're going to get plenty of the accessories for different poses. However, the main thing which may hold people back is they dubbed this as the I Am Iron Man edition. But so far in the images, there's no sign of the Tony Stark head sculpt, battle damaged armor, or the nano gauntlet. But Bandai have had an amazing line for the Iron Man, and even they had to release 3 Mark 85s, so I assume that Medicom Mafex will do the same. Then we'll also be getting a Psylocke from the X-Men comics. So instead of diving straight into the main characters like Jean Grey, Storm, or Charles Xavier, we're going to get another lesser known character. And this one will have plenty of the accessories, including the effects and swords. So there's going to be plenty of posing for Psylocke. And this figure is a really nice one overall, so it's going to go great with the rest of your X-Men line. The final figure announcement so far is another Spider-Man. This time it's the Ben Reilly version from the comics. So it seems as though Mafex will be bringing out every Spider-Man that existed with another version of the web slinger. Now in terms of the accessories, we'll probably get a lot of what we've seen before, like different head sculpts, different webs, also the unmasked mask like we see here. But probably the main appeal will be his suit. And of course, the Spider-Man does have a very interesting background story. He even featured at one point in a DC Marvel crossover with Clark Kent and Lois Lane. So this one is definitely one to look out for. So these are all the official announcements for the Medicom Mafex for the Marvel line for 2020 and 2021. Stay tuned for more, as I will be doing one for the DC collection as well. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon.